Hey, what's going on, guys? And we are back for another video. And in today's video, we are doing the new Panda Hobby Tetra. I've had a few since I last reviewed the Tetra, but this is my newest Tetra. As you can see, he's a bit dirty, and you can see his body's a bit beat up as well. This is the transmitter I'm using, as per friggin' usual, but here we go. Sorry, the camera's a bit shaky. I'm having to use my hand instead of, like, the selfie stick or whatever, but we're going to do this. Now, I do have a different ESC in him. That's why he is much quieter than the original ESC I was using. So this is the slowest I can go. I can even lessen his throttle response. By the way, it's much brighter on camera in my room than it actually is. See? And that's 50 degrees. I measured it before I started. The video. And I already tested it. He can make it up backwards. He can even make it on there. So, let's see it. Just has to grip my bed. See? There we go. And there he is. Now, this Tetra obviously has a name, and his name is obviously Tetra, but here we go up pretty much the impossible hill. Yeah, I'm going to need a very heavy truck to accomplish that, but this truck is well over a pound for his size. This is heavy for his size. He is heavy for his size. By the way, you will see modification videos on this Panda Hobby Tetra, because I do not plan on sending him back. If you look in there, there's a 180 motor. That motor is actually huge for the size of the truck. Then I got the Reedy Power SC400X ESC, along with the stock ESC receiver combo. That's why there's an on-off switch on it. I've actually got a receiver right over there that doesn't have the on-off switch or battery plug, so we can use that as well. But the throttle response is actually worse on this stock ESC with the 60-turn motor than it was with the 51-turn. So I'm also going to go outside with this Panda Hobby Tetra in this video, or in the next video you see. But I will be uploading like a 2-part series or something. But, you know, there we go. So, you know, let's go. I'm going to pause the video, and we're going to be right back. Guys, we are back as promised. Now, I'm just taking him outside for a short little drive. Just kind of around the complex kind of thing. So, what we're going to do, as you can see, my shadow's right over there, but now it ain't because I'm currently walking in the shade. But, to look around me because I'm worried Aries will come out here. But Aries has been my biggest issue. If you go back and watch the I couldn't find Aries and Orion videos, watch the longer video first, so you get a clear understanding of what's supposed to happen in part 2, which I didn't intend on being part 2, but here we are. So this is the Panda Hobby Tetra K1, and he's quite a capable little truck. Like, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, I do have to drive one-handed, as per usual with phone videos and stuff, but look at that pool. It is contaminated. So, I will try editing the video to put in what he actually says, what Tetra actually says in the video, but Tetra is quite a good little truck. And he's actually quite good. So, you know, we're going to drive him a little bit on this side of the bridge. Oh, sorry. But Panda Hobby Tetra is very capable for his size. He does have his limits though, but he's doing pretty well, I'd say anyway. But we're currently on the other side of the bridge. I'm not going to show what houses and what stuff is on this side of the bridge, other than like off-road terrain and stuff, so you can get a general idea of what off-road terrain I have. And Jason's RCs, if you're watching, and today's best RC Garage Dreams, I know you're watching. So hello to you, thank you for subscribing, and you're a very good subscription of mine, because you do Panda Hobby content just as well as I do. I'm having to watch Tetra through the camera, just so I know where the Tetra's actually pointing. Just so I know where the camera's actually pointing. Just so I know where the camera's actually pointing. And he's quite capable for his size. He is 1/18 scale, so that is slightly larger than the Axial SCX24. You've never seen that on my channel, but you will eventually. Even if they make like so many new models. But this is like the beginning of a very long RC journey that I plan on carrying through my entire life. Now, it's been a few months since I posted, and I'm very sorry for that, but I can actually see myself through the phone. Not the camera, but the screen. But the screen behind the camera. But this little boy is a very capable little boy. He's actually very fun. And I've actually got a 2S LiPo in him to ensure maximum wheel speed. So you could technically say he's on LiPo power. We're not going to go back there today. I will eventually do a night crawl around here with my Panda Hobby Tetra, and we will do a comparison of night versus day crawling. You see how slowly he went up that? This is full speed. As you can see, I'm using the SCX24 stock transmitter because I don't like the transmitter that comes with the Tetras anymore. It's that big, bulky one. I love this style of transmitter where I can drive it one-handed, but the style of transmitter where I have to drive it two-handed, no other option, it's just kind of pointless, you know? Because it's just kind of boring, if you know what I mean. Because you get in the RC hobby, and by the way, you will never, other than this example, you will never hear me say that I would recommend the SCX24 over this. Because in my opinion, it's the other way around. This should definitely be your first crawler. And if you want to have a good time, then I'd suggest this little guy. Because he's actually quite freaking capable for his size. You can put a Fury Tech or Surpass brushless Outrunner motor in him, but he is going to have trouble even then while crawling. He will have the slow crawl that you want, but you ultimately do not want that 180 motor. In fact, in fact, once I can afford it, I'm getting the Fury Tech brushless system with the motor and the ESC. Now we're back to where I normally crawl. And that's this area here. I'll place him right here. Sorry, I pointed you that way. That was originally part of the course until this happened. I'm going to try to cover him with shade as much as I can while he's driving. Now these little Panda Hobby Tetras are more of scalers rather than anything, but they're very good scalers. As you can see, that's the tread pattern of the tire. I don't know how well you can see that thanks to the fact of like the dirt on the tire and that kind of stuff, but I'm trying to focus on the RC more than anything. But it's really hard with one hand controlling the phone, which is my right hand, then my dominant hand is controlling the truck, which is my left hand. But look at that. It's a servo on axle setup. Damn it. Hand of God. Oh, look at the baby flex. Look at that. We got much articulation. I used to always call it articulation before I found out some people call it flex, and then I started calling it flex as well. Oh, fubbernuck me. So, I do eventually plan on getting a tripod again, but that's going to require me having to reposition it and all that good stuff. But then I will actually be able to use the selfie side of my phone, the selfie camera side of my phone. Hold on, gotta get you guys a good angle on this, because I normally can't see up there. I kind of have to do a maneuver to be able to see up there. But these wheels allow for wheel weights that are designed originally for the STX 24, or as my Uncle Kale calls it, the Sex 24. Now, if you try to say SCX 24, which is actually SCX 24, you will find out that it sounds much like Sex 24. You just sound like you're saying SEX 24 instead of SCX 24. Now, this is where it gets a little challenging, because he's kind of able to do that, but he does have his limits. I'm going to drive him a little bit farther so that we can all get a good angle on him. I can't really see him that well, so I'm going to point the camera that direction. There we go. Someone just donated me a fire trap in Monsters. Good, thank you. If whoever donated me a fire trap in Monster Legends is a subscriber to my YouTube channel, then thank you. I'll make sure to do more content, or I'll try anyway. But here we have the most complicated section, and that is, in my opinion, because we have leaves galore. Now, with a 51-turn motor, and even the 60-turn, which this came with, and now all the Tetras will come with it, unless you buy U brand. We're gonna be by the road, so I have to put my thumb on the other side of the mic. But, see that? I'm gonna show that again. He can kind of jump, but not that well anymore, considering he doesn't have all that much wheel speed. Now, what I'm going to admit is this little boy is actually really quite capable. Really quite capable. Fuck me, that's hard to say. I don't know if you saw his suspension kind of bounce, but it did. It did, and it's actually quite cute when he's doing that. It's actually really quite cute. Because of his size, mainly. But also because He's just an absolutely adorable little fucker. I'm gonna try to block him from the sun using my body. If I do ever get a tripod again, I'm going to do some content with it. I'm gonna do some content with it. We'll go ahead and I'm having to watch the camera and the Tetra at the same time now because I'm on a very complicated section. But see what I mean? If you've got wheel speed, this is gonna help. This is definitely gonna be easy for you if you've got wheel speed. I'm gonna try to get the best angle on this possible, but here we have quite a thin section for the Panda Hobby Tetra, and we're gonna go through it. Trust me, the Panda Hobby Tetra is legitimately capable of this. See? Like I said. Now, I gotta head back down and we'll go ahead and look at it from a different angle. But, point is, these little boys are extremely capable. These little boys are extremely capable. And he rolls over, but landing on his wheels. Now, as I'm sure many are unaware, having to watch the ground and all that good stuff, make sure I don't fall over. Now, here's something to keep in mind. I think if you're gonna buy a Panda Hobby Tetra, remove the front bumper, unless it's the Tetra X1, which is like a Jeep Wrangler. And it looks less realistic if you don't have a front bumper on it. That's just my opinion, but oh well. Here we go into the mud. And he obviously gets through that with friggin' ease, because he is an absolute beast. I can actually see him, I can actually see Tetra in my peripheral vision. So I don't need to look at him to know I don't need to look directly at him whilst he's driving to know exactly where he's going. Now, whenever he's going that way, I normally look at him. Just watch him going that direction, making sure he doesn't drive in dog shit. Because that is very likely to happen around here. Because I gotta make sure that this Tetra kind of stays in my peripheral vision. Now, he's in front of the phone camera right now, which is actually in the top left corner of my phone if you rotate it horizontally where all the buttons are facing upwards. But if they're facing downwards, the rear facing camera is in the bottom right of the back. And then the front facing camera can be any direction. Literally any direction. Now, I'd highly suggest this Panda Hobby because, sorry, I'm out of breath. It's just really capable. Like, holy shit. Like, it's just so good. I will be going on a walk with Tetra and my mom later today. So I will bring my phone along. And I will be recording that entire time. The entire time we're walking. No matter how long it takes. So I can note how long it takes for us to get there to our destination and back. Which, really, we have no actually set destination. But we're going to act like we do because it's what we do. My mom can't walk that far, so it's kind of why we have no pinpoint destination. But back on the other side of the bridge again, so I cannot show you the houses. I can show you the vehicles, I just can't show you the houses because I don't want you guys already know that I live in this apartment complex. I'm not going to say the name of it because then you'll probably figure out exactly where I live. And I mean literally exactly. But these little boys are extremely capable. These little boys are so capable that it's almost impossible to distinguish whether or not you're actually getting a panda hobby. It's so fucking hard. Like, it is so hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Going around this area is very fun. You just saw a Chrysler. That's what you saw on the right-hand side. But if you guys see any ghosts, let me know. Over here's where my sister used to live. I can only show this much because the apartment where she lived is in this area. I'm not going to say exactly what floor it was on, but she did live in that area. She no longer does, though. In fact, I have no clue where she lives at this point in time. There are some major events happening in my life, such as I had to go to the hospital. You know the grandmother, or quote-unquote grandmother, that I used to call my grandmother? Yeah, Grandma Lewis. Yeah, that one. Yeah, turns out that she actually decided to betray me, and she landed me in the goddamn hospital for 8 motherfucking days. She did. I'm not even joking. It would have lasted 9 if I had said yes. It would have lasted longer. My hospital visit would have lasted longer had I said yes to any of the suicidal questions. So if I had said yes, which I said no and was honest about it, but I said no to every question they asked me, which they had to ask me quite literally every day of the day, every hour of the day while I was awake. So that I wouldn't feel suicidal. And not one of those times did I answer yes to any of those questions. There were only 3 questions, but they were pretty easy to say no to, because I had them explain them on my first few days of the hospital visit. I kept telling them that I would bring a truck in next time I came to the hospital, which I was at Providence in downtown Everett. I'm not going to say exactly what city I live in, but I was at Providence. That's all you guys need to know. I was at Providence. I'm not going to reveal the state I live in either, because if I've revealed that before, you can go back and watch the exact video I revealed that on. But just know I've not been in the RC hobby for very long. And I started making RC content with the Panda Hobby Tetra. And it's the best crawler I've ever had. One of the best, if not the best. So it's actually really quite good. That's how good it is. It's so good that no one can stop me from even saying that it's good. That's how good it is. Look at this. Hello! But there's kind of some flaws, and we can fix that. But there's one you might have to fix directly out of the box, and I would suggest it. It's on the rear drive shaft. I'll show you now. Actually, yeah, I'll show you now. But we're going to put the transmitter right there. If we look, hold on. There we go. Exactly perfect. It's in this part of the drive shaft that little metal pin that holds the drive shaft together keeps wanting to come loose. So if you find it coming loose on your Tetra, I'd suggest gluing it in with any kind of glue that you've got, including if it's only Gorilla Super Glue. It will take 2 hours to dry though if you use Gorilla Super Glue. I know this from experience. But this little boy is quite capable for his size, considering the huge ass motor. Oh god damn it. He mostly lands on his wheels and tires thanks to his low center of gravity. So, I'm gonna go back in the house. We're gonna do an overview, per se. But what I'm gonna do is I'm mainly going to go for a walk around North Creek Apartments with the Panda Hobby Tetra, and I'll get back to you guys. So, I hope you enjoyed. This thing is really quite fun. I'd suggest getting it. Even though they only come with one battery, they come with really bad control out of the box, but you can easily fix that with an aftermarket, like 10th scale ESC. I'd suggest like the Hobbywing Quick Run 1080 or something like that, or the Reedy Power SC400X if you're really rich. I'm not actually rich. I actually got that from the Enduro, which I'm actually lucky to have had, because this Panda Hobby Tetra has his ESC in him. So, sorry. But there we go. It's much brighter on camera in my room than it actually is. But here's the good thing. This little boy is by far one of the most capable, if not the most capable, RC off-road truck that I've got. That is at the moment. You can hear his quiet ESC, but barely. My glasses are fogging up. Show you in just a minute. But that's exactly 50 degrees, pretty much. It's pretty much exactly 50 degrees, that Lego base-plated slope. You can see he just slides the frick down. In fact, I'm going to give him a little test drive for you guys in my room, and then we'll do like a quick overview of the Panda Hobby Tetra. You can see that he kind of gets stuck sometimes. I swear to God. Thank you. I did not rip the connector off the balance charger like I thought I did. Thank God for that. But the mods I've done to him are, I removed the front bumper. I have wheel weights in literally every single wheel. That's kind of wrapped in hair or whatever it is. But I'm going to pause the video, unplug his battery, and I'll be right back. So, we are back. And here's the underside of the Panda Hobby Tetra. I just flipped the camera around so you guys could see what I'm seeing. Now, here's the only problem. Kind of put that kind of like under there, kind of thing, whatever. Now, as you may notice, I am very close to the camera, because I actually am, but This little boy has a lot of articulation. The shocks are oil-filled out of the box, filled up to 75% of the way nowadays. They used to be 100% filled, which made them a little stiff, but now they've updated it to where it's actually quite friggin' soft. And you got proportional steering, proportional throttle, which you have to modify toy grade crawlers to get both of those, or one of those. There's a leaf inside the Tetra. I put my battery in the back right here now in the Tetra K1, as opposed to putting it like in here, because the battery would sometimes fall out if it was in here. Now it's kind of secure in the back, but kind of looks more scale kind of thing. But I plan on adding an interior, and if I do that, I'm going to do it on camera so you guys can see what I'm doing and all that good stuff. Now, I might be doing a live stream, but that's not guaranteed. So if you guys like Tetra, be sure to leave a comment. I will try to get YouTube to let me do the comments again, because on the last 2 Tetra fucking videos, the comments were turned off. What the fuck, YouTube? You have some explaining to do. Anyways, guys, I will see you the hell later, and as always, peace out.